Welcome back. In this lesson, we're going to look at clouds. We're going to look at the types of clouds, the altitudes of those clouds, and how rain starts or snow. So we're going to look at precipitation also. There are three basic levels of clouds. You have low clouds, middle clouds, and high altitude clouds. And they can have different shapes. All of this is named in Latin. You have all of stratus is a sheet. Cumulus has to do with like accumulated, so it looks like a fluffy cotton ball. You have all these various types of shapes of clouds and then also heights of clouds. And so all the different clouds have different names. So certain clouds will rain and other clouds will not. Certain clouds have just ice in them, others have water in them. So there's various types of clouds that as you start seeing them, you'll see them again and again and again once you know that they're there. The one that's most common that everyone would know would be cumulus clouds. Those cumulus are fluffy cotton ball-y kind of clouds, Toy Story wallpaper. And then nimbus clouds has to do with that it's going to form some kind of precipitation. So you have nimbus, cumulonimbus, that would be like a thundercloud. Nimbostratus, which is just a sheet, like a rain cloud, sheeting rain cloud. You know what fog is when it's very low types of clouds, but they all are particular and have their own part to play in the weather. When clouds are being made, we've looked at this before, a cloud is being made when the gaseous water turns back into liquid water. And the liquid water you can't see through. It becomes white in the sky. Further up, if it gets cold enough, you'll actually get ice crystals that become white. And so some clouds you're looking at ice, especially the very, very high ones, and then some clouds you're looking at liquid water. So the temperature of the air is colder, and the air cannot hold as much water, and whatever that heated water that's rising into that cold air, however much water it has, you'll see that it becomes closer and closer to 100% relative humidity. As that happens, you're going to get precipitation later. In the meantime, you can actually take that gaseous water and turn it into liquid water in order to maintain some of that heat, and that liquid water is visible. So let's look at these in order. In the low clouds, the first ones, which are the easiest, I think, are the cumulus. They're the puffy clouds. They're usually lower. They're some of the lowest clouds. Not very low, 2,000 meters. That's, you know, size of a football field or a little more than a size of 2 football fields, something like that. Stratus clouds also are very, very common. They're the stretched out sky to sky, flat, like rain clouds or drizzly clouds. You see these in the winter all the time. The middle clouds, you have some cumulus clouds and also some stratus. Remember, cumulus is the puffy ones and stratus are the sheet ones. Alto means height, okay, like altitude. So altocumulus and altostratus would be like middle clouds. So you have altocumulus there, little puffy ones, altostratus where it's high up. They don't look, it's not like it's right in your face, it's high up, but it's still a sheet. The highest clouds are mostly ice crystals, and they're twice the height of the middle clouds. And so cirrus clouds, they're the wispy clouds, the horsetaily looking clouds. And so you have cirrostratus, which is very high clouds but kind of in a sheet. You also have cirrocumulus, which are really, really high, but you have those touches of puffiness. So essentially, knowing what cumulus means and what stratus means, okay, and then adding the word alto meaning very high, you can basically get this. So now let's look at precipitation. Precipitation means to fall out of solution. So if something is dissolved in the air, so in this case water vapor, and it comes back into liquid, it is very hard for liquid to hang out in gas, to dissolve a liquid in a gas, because liquids are very heavy. And what will happen is that when a water molecule touches another water molecule, they want to stick together. There's an attraction between those molecules. So a tiny little raindrop that touches another tiny little raindrop will coalesce. And coalesce is where they come together and form a bigger particle. Well, the bigger it is, the heavier it is. The heavier it is, the more likely it will fall out of solution. So you'll get actually rain fall right out of the sky. Or if it's cold enough, snow, sleet, whatever. Okay, so what you're going to see is you have droplets in the cloud. That's what's making it white. They're tiny, tiny little blobs of liquid. And the air is able to hold it, okay, as long as it stays very, very small. Once they start touching each other, they start forming what will later be a raindrop. So a large cloud droplet touching another one, or a small one touching a large one, eventually makes it bigger and bigger and bigger, and eventually it reaches a certain size of milliliters of size. Then it starts falling. Once it falls, it's passing through other water, which makes the water stick to it. And so what will happen is eventually you get a raindrop so big that it'll split apart again. Okay, it would almost be like throwing water out of a bucket. Some of the water will go with other water and some of it will split up. It can't all go like a solid piece. So water can only get so big, a raindrop can only get so big, and then it'll split apart again. So we've already looked at the water cycle. We've looked at how it falls, it goes to runoff, and then it goes into the streams. It's evaporated again back into the air, and it forms a cycle.